So a reading from the introduction of Within Reason. For years, I've had reason to think myself a public health insider. I have been privileged to work within leading public health institutions. I have collaborated with colleagues from all over the world, and I have traveled extensively as part of my work. I've seen public health up close for most of my professional life. But I no longer recognize what I see. This book then emerges from something of an identity crisis as I find myself feeling like an outsider in the field I've long considered home. My personal identity crisis was precipitated by a real crisis, the COVID pandemic. During COVID, public health did much to rise to the occasion and safeguard health. But it also in many ways succumbed to the temptation to lean toward illiberalism. This was perhaps inevitable. The pandemic was a moment when public health received more attention and power than it ever had in the United States. While we were often able to leverage our newfound status towards a more effective pursuit of our work, at times this new prestige went to our heads. This caused us to do what human beings often do when we receive a windfall. We forgot where we came from. Namely, we forgot the liberal values that used to be the basis of all we did. Speaking as I do from within public health, I think I can anticipate some of the criticism this book will receive. Let me address them here. A core criticism will likely be that I have forsaken the progressive values that animate public health, that I have gone right-wing. I disagree. Far from changing my views, I see myself as being consistent. I have always identified as a progressive, pursuing a healthier world by working to improve the social, economic, and political conditions that shape health. In this pursuit, I have advocated for a range of progressive policies, some of which could be characterized as radical. They include Medicare for all, universal basic income, and the generous social safety net, reparations for slavery, liberal immigration policies, and common-sense gun safety reform. My criticism of contemporary public health has little to do with policy. There is room within liberalism for all kinds of policy interventions, from the radical to the reactionary. That is the virtue of a liberal system. It is flexible and can accommodate a wide range of views within a framework of empiricism, open debate, and democratic decision-making. It is only when we move towards dismantling the norms and values that keep the system robust that it becomes necessary to draw a line. While we may think casting aside liberalism will bring us closer to our policy goals, in the end, we will have undercut the very conditions that enable progress. And we have made much progress. Injustices and inequities persist and should continue to be addressed. But when we compare the progress that has emerged from post-Enlightenment liberalism to the rest of human history, we see an extraordinary era of social and political improvement. It is as a progressive who values this achievement and recognizes its fragility that I wrote this book. I am aware that much of what is in this book may be hard for those in public health to hear. I am also aware that some friends and colleagues may disagree with my view of public health's current trajectory. Nevertheless, I wrote this book because I believe the values that animate public health matter. Part of our strength is our capacity to disagree, to have debates, to pursue reason wherever it leads. We are most effective when our loyalty is to data and to the core principles that animate us, not to ideology. We are most influential not when we are aligned with politicians in power or when a crisis invests us with bureaucratic sway, but when the public trusts us. The trust depends on whether they believe we are honest brokers. If we are not making a good faith effort to follow the data, if we seem to suppress information because it is politically inconvenient, if we appear to wield power for its own sake, we diminish our field. Public health is too important for us to let that happen. Our task is nothing less than creating a healthier world. Accomplishing it will take a liberal public health, not an ideologically compromised shadow of our former selves. I call this book Within Reason because I believe public health can function only within a context of reason. This means renewing our commitment to the liberal values that have helped us come so far. To create a better world, we need to be at our best. This book aims to help us get there.